hello, everybody. Good to see you again. Good to see you back here. Happy New Year. Happy 2021 to everybody out there. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, hopefully y'all are doing good. See, everybody's in chat already. Everybody's already started the blessed New Year. Wonderful times. Hello, Action Toys. Hello, Blaze Firestorm, Tom P. Gamer Hands Jr. See Nern in there as well. Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Yeah, we got a bit of another different show today. Yesterday was recap of 2020, and today we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions, how things are going to be different in 2021, and all that good fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining. Let me fix my microphone here. And yeah, we'll open up the phone lines a little bit here. We'll get your New Year's resolutions. That's a mouthful. We'll get your New Year's resolutions as well. So yeah, it's 2021's off to an interesting start already. I know there's a lot of very cool things happening around the internet, around the world, around real life, and just want to talk a little bit about them, just a tiny bit about them. First thing is always first. So I guess we'll just talk a little bit about, because I know this is a really hot topic, talking about the pandemic and all that fun stuff. Is my camera messing up again? I always have to reset. Okay, it's on the right setting. I always have to reset the definition on this thing. Just figure this out here real quick. And that looks a bit better. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about this pandemic and how it's affecting everything right now. And I don't know what it's like for you guys in your necks of the woods, but for our neck of the woods, I mentioned this a little bit yesterday. We're still in lockdown, and that really takes a toll. I know there's been a number of businesses locally around here that have really had the boots taken to them. Some of them are not doing so well. Some of them will not be back in 2021. So that's gonna be different, and that's gonna change a lot of things, like the convention scene. I know there's a lot of people out there that are really gearing up for, the return of conventions in 2021, return of life back to normal. That's I gotta say, just temper your expectations. I know it's been a really rough time so far. It's been a really rough 2020. Thankfully, that's behind us. We're in a brand new year. But I will say, just temper your expectations for 2021. Hello, Gippy. Welcome. Just in time. It's going to... What my forecast here... I'm going to forecast a few things. So my forecast for COVID-19. Crumb's predictions for 2021 here. My forecast for COVID-19, because we are seeing a second variant emerge now. I think it's didn't 7 watchers and 6 likes. And not everyone likes me, unfortunately. That's fine. It happens. I think I know of a few people out there. Yeah, so my predictions for the COVID-19 in 2021. I think we're going to see this until September. I think masks are going to be sticking around for the foreseeable future. I think we're going to see masks well into 2022. Social distancing, all that good fun stuff. I think well into 2022. Even after the vaccinations. I know a lot of people are really hopeful that the vaccinations will mean that we don't have to wear masks, myself included. But I just don't see that happening. Most medical experts are saying that we're still going to have to practice social distancing and masks for a good long time. Not everyone likes me. How dare they? I know, right, Tom? How dare they? But if they don't like me and they're watching, thanks for the view. I appreciate it. Nern says, I vote we boot someone, Survivor style. Yeah, someone's sus. Among Us would be more contemporary. Yeah, someone is definitely sus. Someone is an imposter. We good? You're saved for now. Someone is an imposter among us. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. Definitely will make for a difference in conventions. Now, that being said, we already know of 2 major conventions that had officially postponed most of their events. That being, well, 3 technically. One of them being a feeder convention for Anime North, one of them being Anime North itself, and one of them being Kitchener Comic-Con, have all posted that they are postponing or drastically reducing events or moving them to a different date. I'm seeing restrictions for COVID-19. My forecast for this, using my giant galaxy brain, my forecast is that we're going to see restrictions start to loosen in September, October. What does this mean for conventions? Means that we're going to have a very dull summer. FeederCon, like with Mukbang? Yes, exactly. It's the convention. So here's the funny part, Nern. The convention that I'm talking about, it's the convention that everyone basically knows that it's an Anime North convention, but without it being an Anime North convention. It's all the people that usually go to Anime North that want to do a whole bunch of debauchery and shit that would actually get Anime North in trouble, so they go up north and do it there instead of doing it at Anime North. And then everything that happens there stays in the gazebo. That's the way that goes. So we're gonna see a ton of events that are gonna try to push the boundaries. Obviously, I would, in my expert advice, I would advise anyone that's organizing events, and this goes right across the board. Anyone that's organizing events, you don't want to be the first one to be a super spreader, because there's obviously going to be 1 or 2 events that, says fuck the rules. We're gonna go ahead and do it. We're gonna rent out a fucking barn somewhere. And we're gonna have a full convention. Don't be that super spreader, because it will literally destroy your name and destroy your reputation. Nobody wants to do that. Hello, Randy Scribner Jr. into chat. To be fair, you doubt the person who reports the dead body, so you understand this is a bit. The spiritual successor of Atomic Lollipop. I always meant to go to Atomic Lollipop, but I never made it. I've heard like mixed reviews about how Atomic Lollipop used to be. I heard it was like pretty good, but I also heard like many, like any convention, I heard like many horror stories about it, but I don't really believe all of the horror stories. So yeah, I think I would advise caution until people receive the vaccine, which is looking like general public is going to start to receive the vaccine in April. Let's start. And that would mean the second dose would be available at the end of May. So we're looking at the timeline of probably August through September as possible returns to some sort of in-person event. I don't foresee Fan Expo actually holding an event at the end of October or September. I see a lot of limited types of events happening. This is my prediction, by the way. This is not anything official. This is my prediction about what's going to be happening. If people were smart, which not a lot of people are, and a lot of people probably won't take my advice on this, but if people were smart, they would hold small outdoor events. They would hold like close to like city fair type of events, right? Where you have big open areas, you have limited seating, limited capacity, blah 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 blah, and that's what I think would be successful. I think we might see the return of the Blues Fest here in our region. We might see the return of the Jazz Festival, because those are big outdoor events that I think would be fine in this type of climate. I don't think that we would see a lot of big indoor events in 2021. The con revived Prozac, but then people realized that their music was actually terrible, and they eventually disbanded again. They were actually touring recently, I think a couple years ago. I went and saw a Prozac concert locally here. It was actually really good. Now, I like their music. You have to be from that generation to really get excited about their music, but I grew up with Prozac, not the drug, the band. I grew up with Prozac, and they were actually pretty fun, and they're really, really nice dudes. The one guy stayed in Canada, the other guy went to California, but they're both like pretty much from Canada, so they're pretty cool guys. Local events to you have timed ticket entry to stagger crowds. That's actually a really smart idea. There's a lot of people with good ideas. Absolutely. And I'm a fan of sharing good ideas. Like, I don't care about, like, you know, if I was in charge of a convention, I wouldn't be hoarding all of these good ideas to myself, right? Because, like, in my opinion, when you're in a region like Ontario, we have the benefit of having a lot of space and a lot of time and a lot of cities and a lot of population just in one condensed area, right? So if we hold a convention in Waterloo and a convention in Kitchener, and that's even those two demographics, there's a lot of people to draw from. Two separate identities, and we're like basically right next to each other. Now hold a convention in Toronto, Hamilton, Niagara Falls, Kitchener, completely different demographics, completely different areas, and you can hold them a month apart and still not have your attendance affected by each other, which I think people really are so fucking wired that they just don't understand that you can exist. And the fact of the matter is, the more conventions that you have in Ontario, the more conventions that you have in New York, the more conventions you have in California, the more conventions you have in Texas means the better quality of convention. You get a better quality of event. You get a better quality of guests and vendors because you get competition. And between the regions, like people in Toronto buy stuff differently than they buy in Kitchener. They buy differently in Kitchener than they buy in London. They buy differently in London than they buy in New York City. Brings you a different variety of everything at a convention. And I think that is needed because if we take a look at the sample sizes, we take a look at, you know, every convention that's ever been in Toronto, Anime North, Fan Expo, Atomic Lollipop, all those things, they generally have the exact same shit all the time. Now, we're seeing year over year a cut back of quality because, you know, it's cheaper to sell immediately to someone who sells pop figurines because they have infinite money, apparently. It's quicker to sell the tables and sell the space to those people than it is to find the diamonds in the rough, right? So it's tougher to go and vet vendors and find the right vendor for your event than it is just to sell your entire floor space to pop figurines. So that's what we're seeing a lot of laziness take over, a lot of apathy take over because there's really no reason to sell to anything else. You just want money, right? And then you build off your reputation. Exactly. So the dealer's hall will be 75% pop vendors. It's what it was like a couple of years ago. It's insane. So you're selling your reputation at that point. You're not selling ingenuity. You're not selling innovation. You're not selling interesting. You're selling reputation. And when you're selling reputation, that has a shelf life. And so what I would say to a bunch of convention owners out there, you know, Fan Expos, Anime North, all these people out there that are making pop-up conventions and et cetera, your shelf life is expiring because you're not bringing anything new. And so if you're experiencing a downtick in popularity, it's not because of other conventions, it's because of you. Because I can tell you right now, other conventions really have no impact on your attendance or your reputation. I'll take Kitchener Comic Con as an example. Kitchener Comic Con had Anime North and people from Anime North attacking it. I don't care what people want to say about the FeederCon not being affiliated. It absolutely fucking is, because it's literally everyone that's staffed at Anime North that goes there and that runs it. So don't tell me that that's not affiliated at all. But yes, they've had major events, attack them for years, try to sabotage them for years, try to undermine them, try to pull the rug out, and it didn't do anything. It didn't have any impact. And that's largely because of the innovation and the ingenuity and everything else that was brought, and the original fresh flavors that were brought by Kitchener Comic-Con and the experiences that you get there. So what I will say to all these conventions out there, if you want to do something and you want it to be greatness, you have to start looking inwards. You can't look at what everyone else is doing. Try to pick and choose the best parts of every other convention, right? Like the timed ticket sale thing, let people come in for specific times or what have you, or this ticket's only good from this time to this time. That's great. That's awesome. It gives you a variety, gives you control over that. We're going to see smaller events in 2021. Take advantage of that. Make things that are exclusive. Make things that make your brand stand out. Make quality events. Build up that reputation again, because after this, 2020 was a year where a bunch of people that went to conventions religiously for the past 5 to 10 years were forced into detox. Let's just say that. Let's just say it straight like that. They were forced into detox for the entire year. They were forced to be in con withdrawal, be in a position where they had no outlet and they had no connection to their addiction for a full year. We're probably going on a good year and a half, maybe 2 years. So this is dangerous, because all of these people that have been locked into drinking the Kool-Aid for 5 to 10 years and, glazing over the fact that your events have been trash for the past 5 to 10 years, but they only go because their friends are going and because it's something that blah, 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 blah. Maybe now they have families. Maybe now they have careers. Maybe now they have different hobbies. Now you have to do stuff to win them back. And this is what 2021 is going to be. I would suggest for people to wait to 2022, but I know that's not going to happen. There's way too many people out there that want to take advantage of the void, and be the first to take advantage of the void and be the first to blah, blah. But I would highly, highly suggest for people to wait and see, because you've done it for a year. You can do it for another 6 months, 6 to 8 months. Wait until it's safe. Wait until it's better, and then you're just going to get a better quality product. Look at what Hollywood's doing right now. They're flooding services online. They're not flooding the movie theaters because they understand the movie theaters, no one's going. They're not going to get money from them. So what do we see? Instead, we have Disney announcing fucking 47 new shows. 47 new shows. Hello, James Andrew Morrison. How you doing? We have people. I don't even know how many fucking new shows of Star Wars spinoffs we have going to Disney Plus. We have how many new Marvel shows going to Disney Plus. This is all calculated because they know in 2021 people are not going to be going to movie theaters, even if movie theaters are open. So why are we throwing money in movie theaters? Again, when it comes down to conventions, why are you throwing money into conventions when you know people aren't going to be going to them? So you have to look at these things and you have to make things. Yeah, it's a good thing that you never got $200 million budget films when you can make 47 awesome TV shows with that money. Exactly. And they're going to. Hello, Amanda T. Welcome. And so this is the thing. We're seeing forced innovation in a group of people in Hollywood that have never been forced to innovate in probably 50 years. So we're going, yes, long live the introvert, superstitious, oblivious bee. Thank you so much. Bring back the drive-ins. I've been saying that for years. Drive-ins are amazing. Drive-ins are great. Why movie theaters have not converted their parking lots into drive-ins, I will never know. $1 million idea. The first movie theater, I'm telling you, the first movie theater franchise to set up a giant fucking broadcasting screen where their fucking movie theater is, and then have a drive-through or a drive-in at their fucking movie theaters where people can like curbside pick up their fucking popcorn and drinks and shit and watch movies in the parking lot. Amazing. Like literally great. Like mind-blowing. James seems to have nothing better to say than the same thing. It's true. Hello, Stan. Good to see you. Good to see you, Stan. The man, Dallin, in chat. An expensive sci-fi, SFX heavy sci-fi show runs $1 million per episode issue is the way to monetize it. Yeah, that's why you put them on the streaming service. Put them on the streaming services because the streaming services... Look at what The Mandalorian has done for Disney+. You don't care about any other show in Disney Plus. If you just join up to watch The Mandalorian. But Disney Plus, honestly, has a ton of really great shows on it. Like it has like the entire fucking Marvel library on it. Cartoons, old cartoons you can't fucking see anymore. It's on Disney Plus, and this is not sponsored by Disney Plus, by the way. But this is stuff that's like, it's innovation that Netflix has been sitting on for fucking years. That like Amazon has been sitting on for fucking years, and they just don't think to push this envelope, and now Disney has a fucking entire library that they can take advantage of. Made it into the new year, absolutely. Paralegal X, welcome. They were doing drive-ins and parking lots on Fridays and Saturdays in the Phoenix area. Not sure if it's still going around as theaters are now open. That's exactly it. Like nobody around here, Paralegal, have been doing any of that. Like we have like 4 or 5 major drive like movie theaters around here. None of them have thought to do that at all. Like, and you can make so much fucking money off of it. Open it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know, matinee is on Sunday, Friday, Saturday, the main events. Do drive-in, like do fucking movie theaters, like drive-in movies. It's amazing. Sell fucking popcorn. Like, there's so many ways to make money. It's just, you have to think of it. And the problem is that people don't think of it. Or they just, they're sitting back on their laurels and they aren't forced to do anything innovative. You have a great home theater system at home, no need to leave the house. Absolutely, I agree. You have to give people a reason to leave the house. Like, the whole reason, like, yes, you can sit in and stay and watch your giant movie theater television at home, but it's also nice to go out on, like, a date or something, or just have, like, a nice special outing where you can go out and just be cozy in your car and watch a movie in the drive-thru. Yeah, bad weather would screw it up. That's true. But we had an entire summer where they didn't do it. We had an entire beautiful summer where everything was, like, amazing. Yeah, invest in circus tents. Exactly. Boom. Like, there's so many different ways. Like, tons and tons and tons of different things that can be done that people just don't do because we've just grown so lazy in terms of the entertainment industry. Because, it's been a formula that has been that way for the past 25 years. It's just, do this and then boom, good. Adifos, you did make it on time. Welcome. Your Harkins theaters are selling curbside popcorn and butter on weekends. You can order online. Yeah, you can order most of the concessions from our local theaters through Uber Eats, but I don't know why I would want to spend $20 on popcorn plus another $20 on all of the service fees from Uber Eats just to get like a $50 popcorn at home. When I can just make it myself. If I'm going out there, if I'm going to the theater, I'll definitely like put the money down on the popcorn and pop. Or if I'm going out to a drive-in, I'll put that on the popcorn and pop. But am I going to open the stream to any guests? Yeah, in about 4 minutes. I'll open it at about 4 minutes. We'll talk about some New Year's resolutions and stuff. There's a large movie theater near you that can convert their parking lots into drive-ins. They're still closed. Yep. Every single one of them in our area. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. Like, we have a bar downtown. We have a bar downtown that has a giant fucking Titantron that was playing the Raptors games when the Raptors were in the NBA Finals. Well, basically throughout the playoffs, but they play them. They play like sports games over there, and people like lose their fucking minds. They don't charge for it. I mean, they could, but I think it'd probably require a licensing fee. But they don't charge for it. But I mean, like, if a fucking random bar downtown can do it, like, movie theaters would have no fucking problem slapping up a Titantron, mobile Titantron. I don't know, putting it in the fucking parking lot, putting it in the back parking lot so people driving by can't see it, like, or even just having it out front so people can see it and maybe they'll be enticed to come in and watch it. And it's just stuff like that, It's just little things like that. You will ever see what I believe. All right, James Andrew Morrison. Sounds good. But yeah, I want to hear your guys' New Year's resolutions. I want to hear what you guys are all talking about and what you're all. I'll give you a hint as to mine. I'm going to not. My resolution is to not be taken for a fool. Right. My resolution is to do a lot of work on myself, do a lot of work for myself, and not be taken for a ride anymore. I think I've been too caring, too giving over the past year in 2020, and putting my health behind other things. And so I think I'm going to focus on my health. I'm going to focus on a lot of stuff that I need to focus on. So that's one of my resolutions this year. Saw something about private movie theaters trying to rent private parties for $149. Yeah, there is that. There are movie theaters that are open to renting for specific movies and things like that, for parties and blah blah blah. So that is the thing that happens. Okay, I'm gonna post the link to the studio. If people want to start queuing up, you guys can join in the conversation here. I want to hear your resolutions. I want to hear from you guys. You should just try to do these things. Yeah, they should try, and they're just not trying. And the thing is, it's like there's a lot of small businesses that would die to have something like this. AMC has it for $99. Oh boy, that's brutal. There's a lot of small businesses that would kill for this, and they're just dying left and right because they're not even allowed to operate. They're not even allowed to operate, which is really, truly unfortunate. Really, truly unfortunate. It's like, I know. Oh, we have notifications over here. Awesome. Oh, we have Amanda Thomas joining the stream. Just be 1 second here. We'll get you in here, Amanda. How are you doing, Amanda?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. I've been some crappy weather though, huh?
Oh, the weather's, normal. We've been fairly fortunate here. We've been fairly fortunate, I think, to get the decent weather we've had.
Yeah, so. We did have a white Christmas.
We did have a white Christmas, and then we had a very wet Boxing Day and a very slippery and icy New Year's. And we also have Adafos joining us. Come on in here, Adafos.
Hey!
How you doing,
Hello!
Happy New Year.
I miss you.
Miss you too, buddy.
All right. I'm going to give y'all an exclusive preview of me.
Hey! Face cam time. Let's go.
Hi, Amanda. How's your New Year's?
So far, so good.
Well, good. Good. I'm doing well. So I finally got over COVID-19.
Excellent. We have a COVID survivor.
Yes, I am. I'm finally back at work, and I'm loving it. I still look like heck, but it was a ride. It was a ride, I tell you.
I'm very glad that you made it through.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
My God.
I haven't had
well, I guess my New Year's resolution. Yeah. Well, my New Year's resolution is like kind of like yours, Crumb. I'm just gonna focus on my health, kind of focus on career paths as well. And my third thing is I'm gonna actually pick up a new hobby. I'm really looking at maybe getting some certifications of some kind and kind of just getting a new hobby and kind of focusing on YouTube and stuff as well, and just staying true to it.
That's awesome.
That's kind of what I'm looking at for 2021.
I'm very happy for you. That sounds like a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. We also have
me. I'm just trying to go insane.
Yeah,
that's a good one too.
For sure. All
Welcome,
the crazy.
Nern.
Hello there. How are you?
Hey, I like that picture. That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. I took it myself. I was down in Houston.
Oh, you're in Houston? That's not far from me. That's actually not far at all.
Oh, I was traveling there.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha.
Very nice. So,
I've never even been outside of Ontario. What's the rest of the world like?
What's your New Year's resolution, Nern?
Well, mine's a little bit different. I've actually, over the last year, I've actually been pretty good. I've been very fortunate. I graduated university, found a job. So over the last year but over the last couple of years, with everyone being shut in, I've had a lot of time to think about stuff. And, we've had, the Vic thing going on for a couple of years. And, how he's had to, pivot from what he has done for a lot of time. And he's been able to kind of connect with his passion again. And that's something that really resonated with me and kind of encouraged me to actually push through this year, finish school, get that job. So I guess my New Year resolution is I want to, going forward with this whole pandemic situation not going on, I want to try to kind of connect people with their own passion so they can kind of take what I've kind of taken and be able to do that in their own life. So it's kind of a little bit different, but that's something I want to try to do this year.
That's really awesome. I'm happy to hear all that. That's great. We have more people joining. Oh my goodness! Now this new feature with Streamlabs, we can get so many people in here now. We're gonna bring in Tom.
Hi, Tom.
Kitty.
Oh, I recognize that. I recognize that picture. It haunts my dreams.
I wonder, does he have a greeting for us?
I did. You didn't hear it? Did it not work?
I don't think so.
Not yet.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, no. Hey, listen, the dream started with the nightmare cat. Now I'm going to have a sound to it. Okay.
Let me get this scary kitty. You scared Amanda clean off the stream.
Oh, man. Dang it. I think last night she was just so enamored. God.
No worries, Amanda. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So what's your New Year's resolutions?
My New Year's resolution? Well, it's very simple. Just keep on trucking. That's about it. I mean, still fighting with my landlord, unfortunately, but at least she was nice enough to grant me a few more days so that I could try to find a new place to call home.
There you go.
That's really good.
So, but we'll see. I mean, it's just been hell packing up all this stuff, and with a bad back and not getting any real assistance, it's that makes it even more fun.
Oh, brutal.
So, yeah.
Well, I hope
I thought I told you about that. That's why I no longer why I retired from what I was doing.
True. Yeah. Back problems are always really brutal.
Well, mine are exceptionally brutal. So I thought I sent you the article about what happened.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I thought so. So yeah, it's just every day is just it's constant pain. Constant pain.
Is this from an injury or is it
oh yeah. The most grievous kind.
Okay.
The most grievous kind. I'll go on ahead and I'll share it with everybody. I broke 6 vertebrae in my spine.
Oof.
And it's crippled me like you wouldn't believe, and can't get any assistance out of this damn government.
Keep trying
at all. So it's like, well, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And I remember at my last disability hearing, they said, well, you can go out and be a marker. And I said, what is a marker? Oh, that's somebody who goes out and paints parking stripes. Okay, sure.
You want to pay me $24 an hour?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do it then.
Are they going to give you a job doing it?
Here's the thing. How am I supposed to climb up on a rig?
Right.
It's just the utter stupidity of these judges, lawyers, whatever you want to call it. It's just all a bunch of bullshit,
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can reinforce that too. So my girlfriend's father is actually a retired highway patrol officer, and what ended his career was an actual car wreck. He got T-boned by somebody that did not want to be arrested for whatever reason, and it did do the same thing as you. It didn't break any vertebrae, but by the law, he was handicapped because he did break his back. But thing is, he did get granted assistance by the government. But you know what they told him? You can't work. If you want to keep getting assistance, you can't do any work at all whatsoever. Even if he was capable of doing it, he couldn't get any work. Yeah. So, in a matter of fact, they actually watch you. They actually send people to watch you and make sure that you're not working. He got caught in a gym working out because his doctor actually said, "Hey, it's okay to go work out. It's okay to do that. Just stay in shape," because he's a muscular guy and really intimidating. When I first said, "Hey, can I date your daughter?" I mean, we're talking that kind of intimidating, right? So he got caught working out, and he was threatened by the courts to take away his assistance because he got caught being active. So you can't win even if you are granted assistance.
Yeah, well, I can't win no matter what. So it's like, well, so I lost my appeal.
You just got to keep fighting.
Yeah, that's why I said my New Year's resolution is just try to keep on trucking. And hopefully the next time that I try this again, I'll have a lawyer that actually does his job instead of sitting around on his fat ass.
Right. And it depends on who is listening too. It really does. And right place, right time,
Yeah, well, I mean, I have other theories about it, but I'm not going to go into that on this broadcast because then I would probably get crumb flagged, and I'm not going to do that. Crumb is my buddy.
No, if we talk about politics, then I'm just going to get like 180,000 viewers. Like,
yeah,
that's the way to go.
Funny thing is that I thought I was going to splurge a little bit and bought a couple of copies of the Monopoly game that dealt with politics.
Oh my goodness!
It's called House Divided.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, you have to get a group of people of around 5 or 6 to play it effectively and get that full effect. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, first of all, I don't have that many people that would want to play this, and even if I did, then it would just engender a fight.
It's true. Anytime you open up a Monopoly game, you're just looking for a fight.
Yeah. So I said, you know what? Nah. I mean, I got them cheap. They were like $10 and change each, which was a pretty damn good deal.
That's
awesome.
And
speaking of someone who's looking for a fight, we have the Marky Slayer back.
Uh-oh.
Here he is.
For thousands of years, I have laid dormant.
Junior. What?
No.
No. I'm grabbing Lucille. Where is it? Where's Lucille?
He's been properly baptized by the cat. Now he can join the stream.
I'd rather not get baptized by a furry freaking feline that ain't a dog.
You heard it here. Marchie Slayer, aka Gamer Hands Jr., has a problem against furries.
Or how about this? Let me see.
Whoa! I wouldn't say a problem because I have friends who are cool-sided furries, like not the ones be like, "Oh, I'm an animal, but I'm a human, but I'm going to be fucking other animals." No, that is not cool on my end.
I suspect a lot of people agree with you.
Well, since he was coming with the thunder last night, let's see. Let me try to draw on a little Hulk Hogan here. Well, let me tell you something, brother.
It's good.
I cannot do a Hulk Hogan voice within the light of it. But I can try to do a Macho Man Randy Savage.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Oh man, give me something. Give me something to say. So I got to remember what he says.
Snap it to the Slim Jim, brother.
There you go. Yeah.
Snap it to the Slim Jim, brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or what was it? I'm sorry. Let me see.
We're missing one person in all this, though.
Yes,
Bob.
this one person.
I hope he's doing well.
This one person is missing on this action.
Yes.
This action.
And we're talking about wrestling at the same time.
Like our great Macho Man Randy Savage.
You better give Hop this Bob Crumb.
I'll tell you, I don't watch wrestling that much anymore, but one of my favorite matches was that street fight that Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon did at the King of the Ring.
King of the Ring 2001.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was my favorite match.
Yeah.
Apart from that one match that I will hold forever in my heart, which was Undertaker versus Mankind, King of the Ring, 1998. Hell in a Cell. And that was one of the best.
That's
also,
one of the marquee matches, like historical.
It was historical. It was when I made his career.
Well, I'm going to take my horn for just a second about that. Speaking of Hogan, Crumb, you know what I used to do, and I appreciate you keeping that under your hat, because one of my other New Year's things is that I think I will probably wind up taking off the mask, and maybe we'll do like a Q&A about what it's like to do what I did.
What did you do?
That's classified.
Uh-oh.
It's redacted.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
Thank you. But anyway, small story about it is that Hogan's partner down in Tampa, this business partner, we got to talking about it, and he was wanting me to come down there because Terry, that's his real name for those who don't know, Terry,
I already know,
go into a place that we had mutual friends. And I was like, really? I didn't know that. And they used to, get, drink and have fun and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, it'd be interesting to, pop in there and be like, hey, it's me. So, and my stature in what I used to do was enough that I sent him a couple of autographs. I sent his partner one, and I sent Hogan one. So, I mean,
That's awesome.
And unfortunately, things never really came to pass. At that point, both my parents were very ill, and I just wasn't able to do it because they required full-time care.
Oh, damn.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, so I mean, maybe one day I hope I can get down there, because I mean, he's what, pushing 70 now, I think.
Yeah.
And
at least.
Who, Hogan?
Yeah, and a lot of those guys are gone now. What is it? Randy's gone now. I think his brother is still around. Lanny is still around.
Lanny Poffo, I heard.
Yep. And well, let's see. Roddy is gone. Roddy Piper, he's gone.
5 years. About to be 6 in sometime this summer.
Yeah. Let's see. Miss Elizabeth, she's been gone for a while.
Yes, it was tragic.
Yeah, very. And Lex Luger looked like he was ready for ready to go.
That man just looks like a deflated balloon.
I know, exactly. I mean, the guy looks so. He had such a good-looking physique, and now when I see him, I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, how much steroids he had to do to pull the bang?
Oh, I know. Well, look at Hogan. Hogan was doing steroids night and day. I mean, he was so juiced up, it was crazy.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So
let's think of what we call it, that shit that Bane had in Batman is literally steroids back in the 80s and mid 90s.
Well, it's serious stuff. Like when I was in the hospital with the infection in my jaw, like they gave me steroids and to bring my white blood cell count up, number one, and to bring the swelling down. We have dark mode out of foes now.
Great dark mode.
That was good.
Go-
But yeah,
the light was like glaring. So sorry. Anyways,
we had so I had steroids when I was in the hospital, and like even after like a few days after I was in the hospital, I was just like fucking. I was super high energy. It was like, yeah, let's go. Like my mind was going 1,000 miles a minute. Like that shit is performance enhancing. Like I don't care what anyone has to say.
I don't even need
100%.
steroids. I am running like how crackheads be running over to one lane to the other side of the country.
And see what's crazy about it is like steroids had like the biggest impact in baseball for a while there, and then they banned it. But now that you watch baseball and you look at it, some of the guys that are performing in baseball without those enhancements are doing just as well as people with enhancements. So it's crazy how we've evolved.
There's got to be something in the water.
Sure.
Yeah,
it's got to be something in the water.
Have you checked your?
I mean, I used to be the tallest kid in my class, but now I see some sixth graders that are taller than I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! I used to be the shortest.
Some of these girls nowadays, it's hard to tell.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started there.
They're 11, they look like they're 23.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, let me try that. Don't even get me started over there.
God. Look, all I know is that some girls look like dudes. And the girls that look like dudes look like their freaking fathers. Like, if I were to come across a girl that literally looked like a dude, I'm getting a check and busting out of there. Or just bust out of there entirely. I was gonna say, I was gonna say, yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, cut, away from the bathroom, and find the nearest exit. And if she doesn't see me, I'm gonna say, I should say to take a smoke, and call a taxi and bolt.
You've really given some thought to this, I can tell.
Oh, please. You don't know the half of it, lady.
Got a whole exit strategy.
I do.
Exit left.
Yeah. Oh my God. Is that what you had in mind when you met up with Jamie Markey?
Oh man, I honestly had no exit strategy when it came to that. I was like, it was like this one line I saw in this movie. So like, the bitch got to drop on us. Our back is against the wall. This is not a drill. Help me. Help me. You fucker. Help me.
That's on my New Year's resolution too, is to avoid them because they literally live like an hour and 30 minutes from me. So I'm going to avoid that whole group altogether.
You mean you don't want to go and hang out with Ron Soyer, the snack tray master?
Hell no. If I'm gonna hang out with him, I'm just gonna headbutt him first.
That's why you try to avoid Whole
off.
Foods at all costs because they hang out there.
I think it's funny that he's so brave. He's saying, I'm going to whoop Nick Recada's ass and all that sort of shit. And I'm like, oh my God, you couldn't find your way out of a wet paper bag, you stupid son of a bitch.
I think that Junior, I think your head is as big as his torso. If you were to headbutt him, he'd turn into tofu dust.
Oh, you have no idea. My head is indeed big, like a watermelon. Hard
still. I can see it now. As soon as he headbutts him, he would just disappear like Spider-Man in the Avengers.
No, he just
be an outline.
Chrome, you've seen my picture, I assume, right? So you know I'm a pretty healthy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure Chromium saw me before. I can't remember. All I know is some lady that had their bangs cut off in front of her head, and I'm doing a double take, and I'm like, "This is actually Chromium?"
Yeah, that was me. You met at Kitchener Comic-Con. Yes.
Not gonna lie, I have a good physique, if you know. But anyways, if I were to headbutt Sawyer, he'd be like coming out of his shoes. He'd be jumping up from his shoes, and falling head first onto his back.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well,
You'd be knocking him out of his Louis Vuitton. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, he's gonna drop more than his Louis Vuitton. He's gonna drop his thongs, his Louis Vuitton purse, his remotes, some type of wedding ring he was going to give Monica one of these days.
That's his purity ring he gives to Monica.
Oh, God. Oh, I thought you were talking about me for a minute, Crumb. I was like, oh my God, you son of a.
I was either expecting purity ring or chastity belt key.
Exactly.
Chastity belt key.
I was like, damn, Crumb, I don't want to catch something I can't get rid of. Shit.
All I know is that guy's going to be a goner and DOA once he be in the hospital. Not dead or alive, but they're alive without memory.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Crumb, I've been trained in several different types of martial arts myself. I mean, let me put it to you this way. No, seriously, all kidding aside, when I was doing Kali a few years ago, the rest of the students would watch me and the master going at it. And finally, the master got so scared, he was like, damn, this son of a bitch is going to kill me.
You weren't going to rip him like from your with your bare hands?
No, because we were doing stick fighting.
Stick fight, like kendo stick fighting?
No, not quite. It's Kali sticks, actually. If you remember Out for Justice, when Steven Seagal was in the pool hall, and he got into it with, as it turned out, I didn't realize this at the time, it was Danny Itosanto, who was Bruce Lee's student.
No way.
Yep. And you remember this scene, don't you, Crumb?
Yeah, I do. I just they had a ball fight and he had a somebody just pushed. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's what I was doing with this guy, learning that exact discipline. And we were so fast that it was just the other people would just stop and just gawk.
Like with their jaws on the floor, but like, holy shit!
Yep.
They were seeing like, a Dragon Ball Z sequence.
This guy's playing for blood.
No, he's out for blood.
Yeah,
this guy's out for in for keeps.
Yeah, just like this.
Good thing I got a knife. Where's it? Where's my sword knife?
Actually, I'm gonna have nightmares now.
No. That was my water gun.
So you have a sword knife?
Yes.
Hey, you know what? I still love playing with my butterfly knife every now and then.
Oh, I hate butterfly knives. They're so little and they don't really do as much damage.
That just depends on the wielder.
I mean, anything can do damage.
Swords are legal in Texas. So
let me put it to you this way: I took a class in blades once, and it had just rained, so we were outside, and the guy that I was paired up got the drop on me the first time because my foot slipped, and I was like, okay. So dusted myself off, and 26 encounters later, I was winner in a row.
Nice.
So it's like if somebody like fucking Ron Soye was to start that shit like Ricada was talking about in that coffee place or whatever, and he and what was it? Who's his stupid old bitch, Monica?
Yeah.
And Jamie were going to come in there. I wouldn't have retreated like Nick did.
I wouldn't.
His face would have been, into the fucking coffee bar if he'd have said.
His face would be into a coffee mug before my fist would.
No, I mean it wouldn't be just once. I mean it would be worse than what the Hulk did to Loki in the first Avengers movie.
Oh, I've been wanting to do that. To storm into in one room, to storm around and stuff. Oh,
that settles it. Marky's New Year's resolution.
Actually, my New Year's resolution is a two-part series of revenge. I'm gonna make sure that Jamie Markey is gonna have the worst 2021 of her life. I don't know how, and I don't know how I'm gonna plan it, but I'm gonna make sure she gets everything that's coming to her.
Just a
And as for
disclaimer:
one,
in Minecraft.
yes,
Minecraft, yeah,
yes,
exactly.
in Minecraft.
In
And
Minecraft. Not real
secondly,
life.
and secondly, I want to wrestle Juan Sawyer. I'm gonna get so built up and muscular up that when I get him to a camel clutch, he will be humble.
Why
I don't
stop?
think you'd have to do much.
In
Why stop
Minecraft.
at the camel clutch? Why don't you just put him in a sharpshooter and just break him in half?
Nah, he's too good for the sharpshooter. I would do the lion tamer though.
Or what was it? Sting did a similar move. What was it? The scorpion
Scorpion
death
step
lock?
lock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Wait,
let's make
that's
it
still
happen.
too
Let's put it
good
out
for
there.
him. That's
We'll
still
have a
too
charity
good for him.
wrestling match. We'll have a charity wrestling match between Junior and Ron Toye. 2021.
Yes, and I'll referee it.
Yes.
New Year's Eve 2021.
Yeah,
We'll do it.
Where daughter was
If Logan Paul can box,
Yeah.
we can wrestle. Let's do it.
yes.
Call up all the old ECW faithful. ECW, ECW.
Oh, it got to be like an ECW style match though, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
calling the shots. It'd be like a 30-minute Iron Man match, first to 5.
This
You know, watch
match
out
will
for
be
those
contested under extreme rules, as they say.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the you gotta watch out for the remotes though.
Oh, come on! Honestly,
Bring your own weapons match.
It'll be like it'll be like New Jack coming out with his trash can of goodies.
Oh yes, I was thinking about the same thing. I was thinking about the same exact thing. I would come out with a whole bunch of crap in a trash can and a shopper cart too.
Yep, and you have New Jack Steam playing too.
Just be careful. All that soy from his pores might make him slippery to hold on to.
Oh my god.
Well,
Greased up Ron Soye.
I have it covered. I got gloves to cover that stuff, so I'm good. I'm real prepared.
No wonder that there's other stuff being spread in that household of theirs.
Oh,
No kidding.
And you
it's
thought the
all
soap
full of
was slippery in
soy
prison.
and childish rage and whatever.
Whale
What's
shit.
it
No,
called?
we already know that Monica ain't being spread in that household, so
Oh, I'm pretty sure her boyfriend is doing it. Just because since this is a new norm, where you say you made to this girl, but this girl ain't into you, so she has a boyfriend with a mean horse schlong, and she ain't paying her other spouse no mind. Just her boyfriend, while her spouse is doing whatever. I mean, I know y'all can see it, but imagine if that's happening to Juan Toye right now. Like,
Honestly,
the
I imagine
reason why
it's more
he's
like they're sitting in a
calm.
corner and ordering Uber Eats every day. Sad that they aren't
That's
getting all the
also
attention.
true.
it's true.
Well, I mean, Ron is the snack tray master, so
He
I
is.
mean,
He's a snack
and
game
I
master.
imagine Monica is probably lying around like fucking Jabba the Hutt on his throne.
And he's on his
Juan
10th
Sawyer,
round
give me
of
my snack
flipping
tray.
through every channel
Give
on
me my
his
cheese
TV.
sticks.
The master deflator.
Don't fuck
Become
me up,
one with the
shit.
remote.
Give me my cheese sticks.
Meanwhile, Jamie's over there in the corner looking at the remote. My precious.
Or worse yet, it'll be like Deuce Bigelow's first date in Male Gigolo.
Wait,
Jamie Markey would be eyeing up the cheese sticks because that'd be the biggest
and
stick
I
she's
will
ever seen.
slap fire from her. Don't touch my cheese sticks, bitch. Don't ever touch my cheese sticks. I will slap you all the way to European or Europe, whoever this shit is.
I will drown you in marinara sauce.
She's like,
I
don't
like this
threaten me
guy's
with a good
face.
time.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, and
Oh my
honestly,
goodness.
I'd rather have a good time other than Jamie. I'm just gonna be, can I say you know, not like I can't even say it right because if I say it, I'm gonna get Colombian's flag, and I'm gonna
Oh,
be
we're
held
already getting like
responsible.
yeeted straight off the platform, so it's all good.
All right, in that case, if Jamie were to ask for a one night stand, that's gonna be it. A one night fucking stand. That's
You're gonna
all there
invite her
is
out
to
to
it.
seafood dinner and then never call her again.
No, a
Exactly.
What
seafood dinner and then not in one.
I'd rather
well,
have.
wasn't
I,
wasn't
I would. I would rather have COVID again.
Yeah,
wasn't
I'd
Oh
Jamie
rather
my
have
saying
goodness,
COVID
something
too.
about she
Marchie or
thought Nick was
Pridemore,
was
neither.
into her or something?
Oh,
What? Hey, all kidding aside, guys, wasn't Jamie saying something about Vic being attracted to her or some bullshit?
oh
in
yeah, I
her pipe
remember
dream.
that.
Yeah, and then Vic got on his unlocked stream and said, "I have never been attracted to Jamie Markey in my life," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't doubt it."
Oh, oh, I
I
the one
think it's
asking that
projecting.
question too.
Is what it
That
is.
was
It's really
like the
projecting.
ultimate put down, the
Yeah,
blowout
if
right
if
there.
if you want guys out there, if you want like instant hormone replacement therapy, there you go. That will instantly turn your Audi into an innie. Just
Sure.
Hold
saying.
on, what was that German lady that was with Vic? So I would not want her either. Redheads that are legit crazy,
You
only
talking
to
about
the
Specht?
extent.
Yeah.
Yes, German redheads to like they be crazy to the extent that if she tried to threaten me, I'd be like, peace. I'm disappearing with the peace sign right freaking now. And I'm gonna go to
Junior would
my
literally turn into that meme. It's just like fades
yes,
out.
yes.
That too, bro. Oh my god.
Like I do not want to be with a German redhead unless they can pull off the best German soldier general voice ever. Only then they would get the stick. I'm serious. They
Only
would
then
get
they would
the
get the mozzarella stick.
no. The mozzarella stick covered in marinara sauce and with the
I hope it
nice
doesn't have marinara
warm
sauce.
white cheese.
Oh my god.
Oh my
If it's covered in
god.
marinara
This
sauce, it's the wrong
conversation has
time of
now
year.
officially gone off the rails, kids.
Oh my god. Yes, it has gone off the rails. But I was gonna come in and say, my New Year's resolution would be like, make sure Marky deserves every negative spotlight there is, and have an opportunity to fight Sawyer for real, hoping that Ricada will be in my corner as my corner man.
There
That
you
I
go.
can try to find my best corner man there is, so I could just pummel the everlasting living crap out of Sawyer. Huge bottom and no top market. Spec is a fake vet. Yes. Toy Man is right on the money.
Yeah, I saw that comment. Good one, Stan. Real nice. Real
Very
slick.
good. Very good. Well, that's like super unfortunate. Like, the one good thing about big women is that they usually have like a lot of stuff. But like when I see like a big woman with no chest whatsoever,
Right.
like that's so.
I can hear somebody in echo. Who is that?
Not I, said the fly.
Oh,
That was me. I'll own up to it. I walked past my computer. I'm on wireless now.
Jeez.
No worries. But yeah, it's so
it's all
unfortunate.
good.
There's like no top whatsoever on that one, and it's like
I don't think she is a top. She is a straight up bottom. And I kind of learned body language in kindergarten at a real early age. That whenever Marky has these standing gestures, that means nobody giving her enough. And I don't mean a Johnson either. Like
What
it
kind of
seems
kindergartners
like,
did you go to school with?
huh?
You say you learned this in kindergarten. I'm
Yes.
wondering what kind of kindergartners you went to school with.
I was a unique student at the time, so I'm full of
I can see that.
surprises. And not only that, what was going on? Oh yeah. And if she stands like that, she's asking for it. Not just a medium size or a small size, but a big, wide, long one. To the point that she'll never forget it, and she's gonna have to forget it and call that person to the point that he'll be hanging up on her. Be like, bitch, I don't know you.
I only have one thing to say if I met either Monica, Ron, or Jamie, and I would look at them and I'd be like, 20,000 sperm and you were the fastest?
Oh boy. No, that was the short bus. That's the short bus arrived. That's
I'm pretty sure it wasn't 20,000 sperm. It was more like under 10,000, like
Yeah.
500 at best.
Or like I said last night, Crumb, the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass and wound up as a brown stain on the mattress.
I think you've been cheating.
Hey, Phoenix Animation in chat. Happy New Year to you as well. If anybody that has not already checked out Phoenix Animation, he's doing an amazing project, a couple amazing projects in Galden and Reclaiming Zandara, both available on Indiegogo. Now, I'm not mistaken, Phoenix, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Galden is doing an encore run on Indiegogo now. So if you missed the initial, because the created character tier is gone now, but you have some new additions. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a very famous comic book artist that's helping you out with that as well. So if you want to post any details in chat, you can talk about it there. I appreciate all the stuff that you've done for myself and all that stuff. So
yeah,
my character's gonna be in Galden. I'm so excited.
Man,
my
I
OG
really
character.
wish I was in a animated slash what do you call it, that kind of project that Phoenix is doing. It would be awesome.
You had
But
your
it'd be
chance. You had your chance.
Where me had my chance.
In his Indiegogo, you had a created character tier. It's gone now, but you
Damn.
paid. It was like $100. It was like $150. Wasn't much.
Yeah.
$150
Like
to get your
Canadian
character.
dollar bills or America
Dollar
bills.
I'd be afraid to do that personally because I'd probably break the camera if I tried.
Honestly, I would be too much to handle when it comes to acting. I'm a good actor and a voice actor, but I'd be too into it to the point that I'd be inside the damn thing.
So there you go. There's the details. If you sign up to the mailing list and back the book, you're going to get an exclusive metal trading card.
Just think about it. Like if it actually kicks off, I mean,
that's badass.
You know,
I'm afraid that sometimes when I smile in the mirror, it's like when Herman Munster would smile in the mirror and the damn thing would break.
I don't know.
It's just like
every
like a superpower.
Every time I smile, it'd be like I'd be smiling like I really want to like be. Let's say a psychopath is murdering somebody with a sick grin on his face. That's how I am with my smile. It'd be scary, I swear to you. and not only my mirror breaks, but it'd be like it don't break, but my smile be like crack like that.
How'd that go again?
You mean something like?
Can
like
you spell
bone
that for
cracking? Yes, like that, but
no.
Oh man, and nice to be here again, but I gotta go. I gotta bounce. I gotta get some Chinese, and I don't know when I'm gonna come back to Cormion's next stream.
Oh, sure you will. Come on now. You're fun. You're fun. Come on.
Oh,
we love you here.
I feel humbled already. All right, guys. Chat. Later, I love you, guys. I'll see you guys soon.
You got it.
Peace.
Take care.
Thank you so much for joining.
All right.
Awesome. And Phoenix is saying we have famous comic book artists working on different trading cards. Musashi's going to have a cool metal trading. I'm so psyched for that.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
I remember those Star Wars metal cards that they did some years ago. It was like, what, Metallic Impressions or something?
Yeah.
Those were cool.
Incredible what you can do.
I'm sorry.
I was just saying it's incredible what you can do. You find someone to make it. I saw someone on a project, they were doing scratch and sniff stickers, and they're able to get something with like maple bacon.
That's amazing.
Or something really weird out there.
That's a delicacy down here.
Love to have that. Super out there.
I was saying, I remember the metal cards that I got was the. Does anybody remember when Burger King had the Pokeballs for the Pokemon first movie? And those cards?
Oh yeah.
I think those are somewhere at my mom's house, if I'm not mistaken. So that was like my first card. So
that's awesome.
Matter of fact, I bought a small collection of the old Star Wars Topps cards from back in '77. And I hadn't seen those since I was probably 9, and somebody stole the set that I had put together. I didn't have a complete run, but it was like a bunch of the red cards, and this one had a bunch of, the blue, the red, what was it, the green and the yellow and all that sort of stuff. It's not a complete set, but still, I mean, for $1, come on.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah,
that's really
good. Exactly. So, and it was just fun being that 7-year-old when Star Wars came out and seeing those again.
Unfortunately, I came around during the 1, 2, and 3. The not so good era.
Shame for shame.
Well, I mean, I was my martial arts teacher is unfortunately no longer with us. He passed away a few years ago.
Oh.
But before he got sick, we had actually started working on a lightsaber kata.
Oh, that's very cool.
And I sent the first rough draft tape, whatever you want to call it, to Ray Park, who played Darth Maul, and he actually was very complimentary of it. So I thought that was very cool.
That's awesome.
There are definitely people out there that do that. My university used to have a club where they would actually do performing arts with the lightsabers. They get dressed up. And they'd go out and they'd be doing the children's hospitals, charity events. They worked with 500 First local. It was a very involved club. I was surprised how much time and effort they put into it.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the unsung heroes.
Sure. And it's amazing it's amazing to me that they won't take payment for any of these appearances or anything like that. And I think that is very cool.
Yeah, they refuse. They won't even accept gas money. They won't even accept unsolicited donations. They won't. They just absolutely will not.
Right.
They want to pay for their own money in their own pocket.
Yeah.
Go
and the costumes they put together, they're not some cheap crap.
No, they're worth thousands of dollars. They're worth thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
Even in the cosplay
money's just got to pay the fun.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. I mean,
I think they're on
before all the COVID shit hit around here. They were actually coming to some of the smaller cons, where I live, and I was just dumbstruck at the level of detail that they would put in.
Yep.
I mean, it was crazy.
Right.
And I was
I wish we had those selfless ones here. Unfortunately, the 501st that are local to us, they're more on the monetary side of things. They want to be compensated for everything.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, they want to be sponsored to even visit the hospitals and stuff. And you got that side of it too. But I was actually involved in that. Actually, I was Bucky and Winter Soldier, and we visited a lot of the area I lived in is actually notorious for having cancer hospitals that do research, development, and children's hospitals as well. And that's actually what I visited. And so we had a whole cast of the Avengers that actually went and visited these kids. And you would think, hey, that's kind of, when I first actually did that, it was kind of awkward at first because, you're just like, well, I'm the anti-hero. No one's going to know who I am. No, exact opposite. Every single kid was like, can I feel your arm? Because I made it with a it wasn't just like a metal overcast or anything like that. It was actually made of foam. It was actually a hardened foam, and I took a lot of time into it and stuff. And that's all they wanted to do was just touch my arm.
I thought it was
awesome.
cool that I thought it was cool that Ed Brubaker actually had a cameo in the Winter Soldier movie.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I may have that art back here. I'm gonna go get it while y'all talk real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Show you guys.
Sure.
Yeah,
Nice.
please.
That'd be great.
Awesome. Yeah, but I thought that was very cool, and I thought that was a very nice nod to his, run on Captain America, because it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed.
I love when they actually pay attention to details and stuff like that. And Jon Favreau actually credited Marvel and how and that whole Marvel Cinematic Universe and how they handled those movies with how he approached The Mandalorian. And why they took so much from the history of Star Wars, and they took all that stuff because they paid such close attention. They paid homage to all of these people that were involved. So
yeah, and you know what?
You can tell when somebody cares.
I told you, and when Mr. Hop was still here, I said I still have not watched The Mandalorian at all because I'm waiting.
You need to. It's
well,
really good.
See, the thing is that I'm kind of strapped right now, so I can't really afford streaming services and all that sort of stuff, and I'm not brave enough to go buy a jailbroken Fire Stick or go get a device like Go Surf or anything like that. But one of these days, they've got to put it out on a Blu-ray. I mean, if they're doing it for Picard and they're doing it for Discovery, then come on, Mouse. Let's just go on ahead and put it out there on Blu-ray for the rest of us.
So let me change subject. But here is the rough draft, or the first draft of my Bucky arm. It is cracked on the top. But here is
looks
the one
so good.
that fits on the shoulder. Now, I've outgrown it, but there's the material. The unpainted material. You can see it right there. It's actually a foam.
Very nice.
And then this part, if I camera will
look at that.
Wow.
Goes right here.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Now, if you don't mind me being curious, did you do that on a 3D printer or something? Or
Nope.
No? Okay.
Casted it to my arm back when I was smaller.
Okay. Very nicely done.
Pretty badass.
But that's the first one.
Very nicely done.
That's
very
so
nicely
good.
done.
Thank
My
you.
compliments.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, we were just talking about because Tom was talking about the homage paid to Captain America and all that stuff, and we were talking about how Jon Favreau took all that experience from the Avengers and from how Marvel handled all those movies and brought it over to the Mandalorian in that series, and like how it really does show. It comes through in the Marvel movies. It comes through in the Mandalorian when they pay attention to the history that brought you there, and it includes all the fans, old and new, and just creates that magic, that new the new memories for things. And if anyone out there
100%.
hasn't seen the Mandalorian yet, y'all need to go see it. It's worth a subscription to Disney Plus, even if you just get it for 1 month.
I've seen the whole thing, and I can tell you right now, I'm more of an old fan of Star Wars. I've been around since the beginning. I've read the books that the new movies didn't even portray or even cast light on. That's, in my opinion, better than the new movies that Disney's put out. But Mandalorian makes up for all three of what those movies failed to do.
Absolutely.
And that's to appease to both new and old fans of the series. From those that even know what Jedi Outcast is, from those that don't know who Jedi Academy is, the game itself, that storyline with Luke and Kyle Katarn, it actually touches on that so well. It's so fantastic. The magic that he's done in that, and kudos. It really was really great.
Well, my mom and I had a tradition that we would go see Star Wars in the theater whenever a new movie would come out. And unfortunately, when 7, 8, and 9 came out, she was, I'm afraid, a little too ill to make the trip. So after she passed away, I went and saw Rogue One, which was cool.
Which was good.
Yeah, I thought that was an excellent movie, I thought.
Yeah.
And then 8 came out, and then I was like, yeah, okay. And then Solo came out, and I was like, yeah. Side note, I did have somebody buy me a couple of the Sabat cards from the Disney place down there in Orlando.
Nice.
And then 9 came out, and I was like, I looked up at the sky after the movie finished, and I was like, Mom, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. This stuff is trash now.
Although I will say that 9 was better than the other ones.
Maybe.
I mean,
but
it was better, but
Really?
you still can't polish a turd.
No,
that's true. That's true. But what I would do is I would always try to go during a point that I could at least have a seat vacant next to me. So that was for my mom.
Right.
You know, because she was such a huge Star Wars fan. Absolutely. Absolutely loved Yoda. Couldn't get enough of Yoda.
People's childhood growing up, that's what they're messing with, and that's what Disney doesn't understand.
Yeah.
That this is something very close to people, and I think they're more looking to get people with the big names rather than the people with the big fan hearts to deal with it. You don't need to get the biggest name person to deal with it. You need to get someone that actually cares. Because when you care about something, that makes up for a whole lot of any kind of skill gap you might have between you and the next guy.
And that's why the 3 movies failed. You just had unfortunately it fell into the same category as Cyberpunk. You just had a bunch of people in ties that just didn't care. They said, "Nope, I don't want you to put that in. I want this. I want this. I don't want that. I don't know what that is." And that's terrible. But
it was a disaster.
Completely. Yeah, it was probably the worst thing for Star Wars, and then we had. It's as funny as it is. It was the Darth Vader for Star Wars.
Yeah.
As much as Mandalorian has been the Luke Skywalker for it. Because literally, it saved it. It has literally taken everything. Like it redeemed the first 3 movies. It's redeemed 7, 8, and 9. Like it has done so much heavy lifting. Yeah. It has been incredible.
Well, I'd heard something about they were going to redo 7, 8, and 9 to some extent, and I was like, why? It's like Adifos said, you cannot fucking polish a turd.
Nope.
No.
They just have an excellent opportunity.
It's going to be the new Christmas special.
With the High Republic.
I'm sorry?
Like the High Republic era, they have an excellent opportunity here. And also, they have a KOTOR, right? They have an era in KOTOR that they haven't even touched yet. The video games have, but the thing is, though, is you will bring in people that don't play video games into Star Wars with this era, and it'll be another Witcher 3, where when this comes out, everybody's going to be like, KOTOR, there's a game for it? And yes, it's going to be a little bit dated, but that also encourages them to make more KOTORs and maybe redo KOTOR 3 that got canceled.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I want to see? I want to see them not do necessarily a series. I want to see them do like a sort of mini series of some of these to kind of just test out the water. Because because they can go ahead with and have a TV series. You know, everyone has that favorite show is good for 2, 3 seasons, and they milked it out to 5, 6, 7, and the thing had died seasons before. They can go out and they can make a good couple mini series. You don't have the commitment of the entire, franchise, and they can stop it where it's at, and they can rebuild some of that trust back.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen many miniseries lately. I don't know what happened to them. There used to be all of these in like the aughts, all these miniseries coming out instead of these single 1, 2 season shows that we get now. So just take it. If you're not going to commit beyond 2, 3 series, make it a miniseries, because then it feels like it's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on board when Disney brought Tron back a few years ago, because that was a spectacular movie for its time. And then
it was fantastic.
Legacy came out, and I was thrilled. I was like, I am so glad that they are bringing this franchise back, because it was a nod to those of us that were alive during the arcade boom in the 80s. And then you see the scene where he goes into the Flynn's arcade, and you see all the little nods, and you see the old like Coleco football handheld that was in the, the office area where the laser was. And I was like, man, I really hope they continue this, because they left the door wide open for a sequel.
They did.
They really did.
They did.
And then Star Wars came about, and I think that was Tron's, death sentence when Disney took over the Star Wars franchise, which was a total shame because they had something good going with Tron, and I really think they could have expanded on it in ways that would have just been mind-boggling. But nope, it never happened. And I think even Bruce Boxleitner was saying at one point a few years ago, he was like, "I'm done. I'm tired of all the false starts." So,
and that's why I was really happy that Kingdom Hearts it was on the 3DS version when they brought in Tron.
Yes.
They actually brought in Tron into the game, and it's kind of just like, you do care, you do care.
That was really cool.
I'm seeing Action Toys' comment here about episode 6.5 where they wake up from a force dream. I think they did that with Dallas a few years ago.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that a lot, though. I mean, like, they have the opportunity to do it, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
too many dinosaur executives just sitting around.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have with the Mandalorian, they have an entire arc to go through now with what happened to Grogu and all this other stuff, and they have an entire opening to do an entirely different thing now. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how
do
things
a
go.
Katarn series.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that the prices for Dark Empire comics and all the other Dark Horse titles have just shot up like crazy.
Yeah, because people think it's going to happen, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but it has something to do with the Mandalorian that caused that.
I mean,
they have say what, but it was.
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago, you'd be lucky if you'd find them for maybe $1 or $2 each, and now it's like, my God, it's crazy. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, they're now like wall books, like, Spider-Man 101 or 121 or 129 or whatever. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. What is this?
Because all of that lore is being pulled back into relevance now.
Yeah.
Because of the Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, I've been out of the comics business for a long time now, at least 3 years, but I had a bunch of that stuff. And I couldn't get rid of it at a show if I wanted to. And now look at it. It's just like, holy crap, man. So, I mean, I had first print runs of Dark Empire 2, Empire's End, blah, blah. List goes on and on and on.
Even the games are good.
Yeah.
They're aged, but they're good.
Yeah. I mean, I used to play Jedi Knight 2 quite a bit on an old 486 PC back in the day. And somebody was showing me that they're bringing it back now, I think, for Switch, right? Yep. So I was like, that's nice to see the old games getting some respect. It's long overdue.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of new things coming in 2021, not just for that stuff, but because like we have to shift gears when it comes to entertainment. When it comes to small businesses and how things operate. Like, there's a lot of shops that were just operating on the waterline that are now deep under it because of the pandemic, and like stuff like comic book stores are just not going to be the same anymore, right? Yeah. Because new comics are fine, but most of the shit that's being pumped out is just garbage. Yeah. Like I've been saying this for like the past year and a half. I think like if you're gonna open up a store, I think what would be a huge hit is if you open up, because like we have vintage game stores here that are just like they're booming for business.
Sure.
I think if you had a vintage comic book store, I think that would be a booming business. I think like if you had a store that doesn't necessarily get the brand new issue every week, but like you have like the Spider-Man ones, or you have like the old series, or like these series that people have never heard before, and like you sell them at an affordable price, I think you make a ton of freaking money off of that. Yep. And like, I can't imagine that stores are making a whole bunch of money when they're forced to buy 10,000 comics from Marvel that are garbage that just sit there and collect dust.
Well, the thing is that it's all political now.
Yeah,
it's all political now, and I'm just I read this. I've read a couple of the newer books, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
seriously. I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, I'd be reading things like Rom's Space Knight, the old Marvel series from back in the day, Star Wars, and even some Star Trek issues. when I was 12, I think, or 13. But not once did you ever think, oh, this is political, or we've got the feminists, or whatever else. And it gets stupid after a while.
The PC era, yeah.
Yeah.
Star Trek did it right.
Social justice crap. Like people like Markey and Rial and Soye, all those dumb fucks keep talking about. I mean, I'm genuinely afraid that these newer kids that are coming up, their brains are going to be so full of rot, it's going to be disgusting.
Well, we're starting to see we were starting to see last year fatigue from the over censorship of shit, right? Because I mean, we've already had this wave of censorship before. Like hell, we had it in the mid '90s, and during the peak of degeneracy in most of entertainment.
'90s were very special era.
Yeah, exactly. So like, we're seeing it again, but this has been more of a slow burn censorship than the in your face. We need to censor everything on television. Now it's been more of a slow burn. Now it's been more of a, we're going to start placing people in everywhere to push our agenda and blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to pay the bad actors on Twitter to act offended and blah, 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 blah. So we're seeing that, and then people are starting to finally wake up to the wokeness and be like, well, these people, like last week they were mad about this thing and now they're mad about this thing, which is completely different. And like, they have nothing to do with it. And it's like, but it's so exhausting to be mad all the time. It doesn't work very long. Like it's the same thing. Like I was saying about conventions working off reputation. This is a short shelf life. It's not going to last forever. And we're seeing the cracks starting because it's, they're mad about everything all the time and there's no appeasing. And when you try to appease them, it's never enough. And people notice that and they're like, okay, well, when is enough? And then when they finally come out and just be brazen enough to say, well, never is going to be enough. They're like, okay, well then why are we listening to you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The thing is that if you give an inch, they take a mile.
Yep.
And it's just ridiculous. And I just, like I said, I read these newer comic books that are coming out and I'm like, God, what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think that last year, 2020, and feels good to be able to say last year, I think that what has happened last year with everyone being locked down, everyone's kind of retreated into their hobbies at this point. And I think that they're finding all of this censorship and they're like, I can't get any peace at this point. So maybe if any, one thing good comes out of last year, it's that people are waking up more and be like, hey, I would do this for fun, and you're making it not fun anymore.
Yeah.
They're getting upset because they started with their speech first and censoring what people could say.
Yeah.
And now they're actually messing with their lives by keeping them locked down. And luckily enough, I'm blessed to live in a town of like literally maybe 200 people, and we don't have lockdowns here. There's no point in doing it. So luckily I can walk and do as I please. But bigger cities like New York and stuff like that, they're not so lucky. And if you even get
where I'm at, there's no consistency with mask mandates or anything like that, because in this county that I live in, you better have a mask on. Even though they're not going to fine you if you don't have one, but you're going to have all the mask Nazis descend on you like a pack of wolves.
Here they don't care.
Go into a Walmart without a mask on. Now, if I go over to the next county, there is no mask mandate.
Yep.
So it's like, what's the point then? What's the point?
It's very different.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, have some fucking consistency, for God's sake. I mean, either do it or don't.
And see, my work just started enforcing the mask policy too. And the thing is, people are still getting sick with COVID, even when wearing the mask. So
Well, I'll be honest with you. I comply with it and I wear one, like if I go to a Walmart or something. But I'll be honest with you, when I walk out, I feel dizzy.
Mm-hmm. See, at work, I'll wear it too. But we work in such a huge building that most of the time we don't have anybody around us. So I just take it off when no one's around me. But if I go up and talk to somebody, I'll go ahead and put it on. Not only for my safety, but theirs too. But
But who knows now what's going to happen now that the powers that be have said there is a new COVID variant. that's even more contagious and kills you faster.
In my opinion, I think it's better that we have a more contagious variant, because that should mean for a faster infection, instead of this 2-week incubation period bullshit. And so, like, if we have a faster infection rate, if we have a faster incubation, then it's just like, if we're talking 2 or 3 days, then people will know within 2 or 3 days, and then we won't have to have the lengthy lockdowns because we can identify it immediately. All this other stuff, I think that's better, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a medical expert. It could be something different, but
right. No,
in my opinion, I think it's better.
Flu puts you down for 1 week. COVID puts you down for 2 weeks. That's a whole paycheck.
Exactly.
Thing is, here in the States, the CDC already lowered the incubation period from 2 weeks down to 1. So you only have to quarantine for 1 week now. So if you can cut it down even further from that, that's basically, you go somewhere, you take the weekend, and then you're back in work on Monday.
Yeah.
But the thing is and I had this problem too, and I can speak from personal experience. I still had pain in my joints, and I also had trouble breathing and stuff like that too. And it's still going, but it's a lot better than what it was. But I can personally tell you that by week 3 of having it, I couldn't work for longer than 6 hours. I don't know if it's because of the after effects or the pneumonia. But I can tell you, I did not return back to work until about week 5 of having it.
I mean, it affects people very differently. I had it, and it wasn't really any more than the sniffles for me, fortunately.
Yeah.
But I realized that it's going to be very different for everyone. I mean, it's like medicine. They give it to you, and it works great for you. You give it to the next person, and they have all these horrible side effects.
And that's why they got a list of side effects.
It's a medical practice, not a medical science.
Yep.
So, inherently it's going to be very hard.
Now, what I do personally is I take a crap ton of vitamin C with rose hips, about 3,000 milligrams a night. And on top of that, I have shark liver oil, 2,000 milligrams. And that boosts your immune system up to crazy levels. And thank God I was given superhuman immunity to start.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not afraid of it, but if I get it, hey, it's the Lord's will. So be it.
Well, for myself, like, it's hit and miss. Like, I don't usually get sick. I don't usually get colds or anything else like that. So maybe just when the seasons change or when the weather is drastically changing, that's when I usually get sick. But for COVID, like, what I've been doing is pretty much like avoiding people, avoiding talking to people.
Right.
Like when I'm at work, keep distance, whatever else, wear a mask. I just go out to work and I go home. I don't go anywhere else right now. Like, so I haven't caught COVID. I've caught in a couple colds here and there, but I haven't caught COVID. So
you worried me that one time.
Yeah.
You worried me.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about Mr. Hop being in that rehab facility.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I feel for the guy that he's lost his leg, but I'm afraid he might actually catch that crap.
And there's a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna be serious for a moment. Yeah. Just I know that we've been silly most of the stream, but I'm gonna be dead serious for a moment.
Yeah.
For Mr. Hop and for people who are out there in similar situations to him. Now, I'm not saying people that have genetic dispositions to these things, or literally don't have any choice over these matters, but Mr. Hop had been in a situation where he could have had his health in his hands for several years.
Okay.
Several years. Like, he chose to go down this path, unfortunately. He knew about his medical history. He chose to ignore it for several years. And he chose not to seek any help, not to tell anybody. And he's living with the consequences of it now.
Right.
Unfortunately,
that's very unfortunate.
If it wasn't for a freak accident a couple years ago, about a year ago now, he wouldn't have told anybody about his medical history. He wouldn't have seen a doctor about it, and it would have killed him within a couple years. So the first wake up call was before Kitchener Comic-Con when he got a piece of glass in his foot, and he ended up losing part of his foot from that.
Oh.
And later on last year, just a few months ago, when he had bones displaced in his other foot, that gave him another health scare, and the progress of not taking care of himself from that, and not following doctor's advice, not following nurse's advice, and just letting it go.
Yeah.
And then eventually that led to the loss of his left leg. And so, like, as much as people think that, you know, you don't need doctors, you don't need help, or you don't need to tell doctors the honest truth, you need to be damn honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You need to be damn honest with your medical professionals, because this shit can kill you.
Yeah.
Like, it, the whole thing with his leg too.
Yeah.
Is that because he didn't take care of the injuries, because he didn't take care of the infections. He by chance saw his specialist at the exact right time, because if he didn't, then the infection would have spread to his blood, and it would have killed him within a couple of days.
Yeah.
So this is like one thing, and for those of you who didn't already know, like, I've chosen to go my separate ways with Mr. Hop over some differences, one thing or another, and it's largely because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm enabling him to self-destruct anymore. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm covering up all of these losses and making things better for him, so it's more comfortable for him to just let things go. It's, as much as it really sucks, to basically drop that and be like, yeah, no, this is where we stand. I've been trying to help him get better for a number of years, and this recent development, unfortunately, it shows that he is actively not wanting to be better. And I hope that I'm hoping that this scare, that this near death experience for him, has changed his outlook, because I think he has a lot of potential. I think he could be a great person. I think he has a lot to offer, and I think he has a lot to give. And I'm hoping that this finally snaps him into reality before it's too late. So,
well, I didn't mean to touch a scar, Crumb. If I did, I apologize.
No. I honestly, it's something that needs to be put out there, something that needs to be said, right? So, this is for him as well as for other people in his position that think that they're you know, smarter than everybody else. They know their body's better than everybody else, et cetera, et cetera. Listen to your medical professionals. If you don't like what they say, get a second opinion. Sure. But for God's sakes, don't ignore them. Don't ignore them completely, because you'll sooner end up in a grave than you will anywhere else.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes down to shit like that with your health and things like that. Because if you're throwing your health away, this is one thing, right? Yeah. You might think that, you know, you're too far gone, or that you don't deserve this, or whatever else, blah blah blah. That you're just, you don't care about yourself, you know, blah 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 blah. There are other people out there that do care, right? Every impact, every decision that you make for yourself impacts other people that care about you, that you know, go out of their way to help you, that go out of their way to support you. And so for people out there that are having a hard time mentally, for people having a hard time physically, it's not a burden to talk about these things. It's not a burden to share these struggles with people, right?
Sure.
You need the help mentally, you need the help physically, medically, what have you.
Yeah.
There's no shame in admitting it. There's no shame in taking the help. There's no shame in taking the advice. And there's absolutely no shame in following what you need to follow to make sure that you don't end up in a situation where you're losing a limb or you're losing your life. That's basically what it comes down to. So it's I identified that there's a situation where we were not necessarily on the same page. And for myself, I don't want to be a contributing factor to putting him in a casket. So I'm hoping that, because he's under the best care right now that he could possibly be under. So I'm hoping that he finally makes the decision to follow the medical advice and do what he needs to do to heal and be better. So God willing for that. But
yeah. I mean, I'm pulling for the guy.
Yeah, me too.
You know, so I mean, seems like a nice guy, and you know, he seemed genuinely appreciative the last time I talked to him on the stream. You know, because I am genuinely worried for the guy. I've never met him physically, but I am genuinely worried for him. I'd be worried for any of you guys, you know, if you were in a dire strait like that.
Absolutely. Like I've said this to a few people though, and I'll share it with the stream right now. Right, I liken this to a very simple thing in terms of like what we can do for each other. So if I give a man a hammer, and I just leave it at that, and he fails at using the hammer, that was my fault for not teaching him. Right. If I give a man a hammer and I teach him how to use it, and I leave him at that, and he fails, still my fault because I wasn't there to guide him. If I teach a man if I give a man a hammer, teach him how to use it, and I'm there to show him through his mistakes how to improve, and he chooses not to follow the advice that I'm giving him, then that's on him. That's no longer on me.
Sure.
So,
well, you know what they say: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah. So I mean I've had a lot of people over the number of years that I've worked with Mr. Hop professionally. I've known him as a friend for a number of years. A lot of people have asked me like, why the hell are you sticking up for him? He's X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, well, you don't obviously see what I see in the person. You know, I see potential. I see that he could be doing all this great stuff, and it's like and I've committed to him that I'm going to do this. So I'm not going to just half-ass a job.
Right.
So I think that I've done everything in my power possibly to help him.
Yeah.
And I think anything more at this point would be a detriment to him. So
yeah.
I wished him the best of luck. I wish Kitchener Comic-Con the best of luck.
Yeah.
Because I know that group that's a great group together, working together on that convention. And I know Mr. Hop right now is under the best possible care that he could be under. So,
well, it's like they said in Batman Forever: a man's got to go his own way.
Exactly. So, you know, I'm hopeful for the future for both Mr. Hop and for Kitchener Comic-Con, and wish nothing but the best for both of them. But it is what it is, as that phrase goes, and it's 2021's a new year.
Yeah.
And here we are. So good times.
Hopefully,
I know it's a bit more serious for the stream, but we'll be back to regular scheduled programming. Don't you worry. But yeah.
No, some things just need to be said. That's all there is to it.
It's true. Yep. This is true. So I want to save that conversation for the resolution stream, not the 2020 recap stream. So
right.
Yeah, but if anybody's wondering out there that hadn't already heard the news, that's why Mr. Hop isn't here. That's why moving forward, it'll be a different format for the show, be a different format for this thing, and why I won't be involved with Kitchener Comic-Con moving forward. So, yeah.
Well, you don't want to be a distraction.
Exactly, I don't want to be a distraction for the team. That's a well-oiled machine. They're great. The convention's great, going in a good direction, so I don't want to take away from that either.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah. I don't blame you at all.
Absolutely.
I mean, you'll find something.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing my thing.
Yep.
No problems here.
Yeah. I might actually investigate that website you were telling me about last night. The casting call.
Casting Call Club, yes. For people who are... This is literally for anybody, like artists, writers, voice actors, aspiring project directors, whatever. Go to Casting Call Club. Look that up. Because you can upload your auditions there. Mm-hmm. You can apply for projects. Like you can do all sorts of... You can show your portfolios. You can... All sorts of stuff there. And people can pick you up. Some of them are paid. Some of them aren't paid. You can filter them out, do all that stuff. So that's really cool stuff for people out there that are aspiring for anything like that.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe I should have been like I said last night, maybe I should have been a VA. I don't know. I mean, I think I've done some good voices for you guys on the shows in the past.
Yeah, it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Right, with all the indie scene coming out, there's just going to be a huge market for it, especially if these large studios can't produce at the volume that they've been doing. I mean, How many movies came out last year? Not very many.
Right?
Yeah, and I heard the new Wonder Woman movie has already had a bunch of shade thrown at it.
It has.
So, I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but the trailers, it's so funny about big blockbusters like that. More times than not, the trailers make something look great, and then you go see the movie and you're like, what the fuck is this?
So true.
Now that they
Exactly.
just go ahead and reveal like the entire movie's plot in the trailer, and you're just like, saw that
That's
coming
all it
a
has.
mile away.
Well,
And see, that's what's cool about casting call is, you just have an opportunity here, right? And I'm going to bring this up because I want to. I met Vic at Acon, and I think it was in 2011. And the one thing that he said in his panel, he was in the ballroom actually, and it was at a hotel. It was at the Marriott Hotel in Dallas. Um, One thing that he said was, if you want to get into voice acting, you got to put in the work, you got to put in the practice. And he said some things you're going to do are not going to be your most glorious moments, but if you
Right.
have faith in God and the direction that He wants to put you in, He'll get you there. And what he meant by that is Phoenix is going to have animation and stuff like that. He may need a voice actor down the road. You are going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to do stuff that you don't want to do, because everybody wants to be in that. Everybody wants to be Full Metal
100%.
Alchemist. If you got a role for Full Metal Alchemist, yeah, you're going to take it, right? But it's those little steps that you do that you make you better, and the experience that you go through that makes you the better voice actor. And that's a part of why Vic is so good at what he does, is because he does a lot of things that you may never even heard of.
Well, not only that, but he's
Exactly.
got a lot.
Exactly.
Not only that, but I'll say this for Vic also. He has a lot of natural charisma.
Yes,
He does.
And I actually was with him at Cowtown Con. I think it's probably one of the last cons that he went to because of COVID. And I actually got a one-on-one experience with him because Cowtown was not huge at all. Matter of fact, I spent the entire time with Vic at his table talking with him, and we actually went to dinner with the Rangers and Vic at this restaurant. And one of the things that stood out to me the most is there was a mural on the wall, just like a painting, people dancing at this festival, right? And me and Vic just like acted out the voices, like improv. We acted out the voices on the wall. And like it was dumb, okay? Like it was dumb. It was so dumb. Like, because one of the people on the wall was a skeleton, and I just said the lines like, "I'm dead," and like I don't know. It was just a heartwarming moment. Me and Vic shared drinks, and we had a toast, and even if that's going to be my only encounter, I at least got to meet Vic and see and experience what everyone's talking about.
If I saw something like that, it would be off color, like that guy's got a boner.
And he would probably laugh.
Different stroke. Different stroke. But no, really, 100%. If you're going to get into anything, a lot of it is just hard work. And I can say, even if you're looking for it from a career, before I changed careers, I was involved in the hiring side, and I would often get the same kind of people coming in. They're usually college graduates, have about the same level of qualification experience. And at that point, I'm looking to see, who do I want to work with? So you have to actually go ahead and you have to have that passion and sell yourself. And part of that is being willing to go out and, do that work.
Yeah.
I know I've gotten a couple of jobs myself I was not qualified for, but I was like, I'll get in there and you teach me, show me what to do, and I'll be able to figure it out. And that's how I've gotten to where I'm at right now, doing what I want, more or less.
Well, in my former occupation, it was like there are some guys that are willing to show you what to do, and then there was a crap ton more that would just be like, no. So, yeah. I mean,
well, and it's just talking just on this topic, I will say, like, be the person that you would want to be, like, working around, right? Yeah. So, like, one of my first jobs, and this is something like for people that are out there that want to leave a legacy behind, and you're so worried about leaving a legacy, or if you don't have kids, or you're never going to have kids, or whatever, you can leave your mark behind in multiple different ways, right? Like, you can leave your mark behind by just being a decent human being.
Yeah.
And like never having a child, but you leave a legacy behind where you have tons of people. Like my first boss, like one of my first bosses, I worked at a video store. It was a tiny ass like mom and pop video store, and it was a couple that owned it, and they never had kids. They never wanted kids. They were like in their 50s, like, yeah, we don't want kids. We're enjoying ourselves too much. But they always had the mantra. It's like, why would I have kids when like the people that work for me are my children, right? Like I treat them like that, blah 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 blah. And just like that, the way that he managed that store, the way that he treated his staff, was just such a great, like, it was such a great leadership experience that stuck with me when I moved on to different jobs and when I became like supervisor, manager, and I instilled that in my staff. And then when my staff left, they thanked me because I'd been the best boss that they'd ever had. And like, I know that they're going to go on and share that too. And I'm going to be that boss to them. Right. So when you're talking about going into a new position and you have those people that just like, no, I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm not, blah, blah, blah. Like those people just fade into obscurity. It's like, if you want to leave a mark, if you want to be a good person, like, be that person that you wanted to have at your job or your life. Right. So
Yeah.
Exactly. You keep adding enough positivity to the world. If you're not giving to anything else and staying the same, you put positivity out there. The whole thing's going to change. Not much, but it's going to at least move in the right direction.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And those people that are just there, I'm not going to work with you. They're going to be there, collect the paycheck, leave at the end of the day, and they're not going to have any impact. Like you said, Crum, they're going to fade away. But, someone's going to, that you're helping at work or whatnot, they're going to think back, later in life, that person I worked with, really helped me out. And, that might help inspire them to help somebody else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what cancel culture doesn't get.
Yeah. That's what cancel culture is rallying against, really. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
We'll go around the clock here as we're pushing on 2 hours, so we're gonna finish up the show here soon.
Oops.
No worries. It was a great chat today. It was great.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Tom. We'll go around the clock here, and we'll talk about our final thoughts and our New Year's resolutions.
Well, like I said at the beginning of the show, my New Year's resolution is just try to keep on trucking. Hopefully, I'll find a better living situation than I'm in right now, because I was at least granted a couple of extra days by this stupid landlord that I have to deal with. As a matter of fact, this is so funny. I got a noise warning on my door last night. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm sorry. I have a receiver that if I wanted to crank it up to, like, say 60, okay, but the highest that I put it up is 10 to 12.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And it's like, what the fuck is this shit? What do you what do you fucking want? So it's like, if you want me to stay on, because I'm a good tenant, I paid my rent early each month.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what the fuck do you want? Meanwhile, I have to deal with the people that live next to me just had a kid. Good for them. Happy for them, whatever. And they think nothing of leaving dirty diapers in the trash over the weekend when the trash is not picked up. So I literally have to smell fucking shit.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, and you're going to come down on me because you think I'm playing my surround sound too loud? Okay. Whatever. So hopefully, I can iron this out with her. If not, hey, I'm sorry. I'm going to get out of here as fast as I can. Okay. And that's all there is to it. And not only that, but she kind of let me on last night to believe that she's been kicking people out of here even with a pandemic going on. And correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that against what the feds are saying right now? Yep. Anybody in the U.S. that you're not supposed to be doing that?
Yeah, yes. I don't think they can. I don't think they can legally enforce them to leave, but they can bully them out and threaten them enough.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of funny the way the notice was worded. Is that it's like we have a noise ordinance that's in effect between 10 and 7, and it's like, this is not a fucking jail cell, bitch.
Lunatics, man. Lunatics.
Yeah, I know it. But anyway, yeah, that's my New Year's resolution, is to hopefully better the financial side of things for myself, find a better place to live. I was kind of hoping, I told you this story a couple of weeks ago. I went and looked at a house, and it was unfortunately on a private road, and the road had washed out because it is private. So therefore the city does not think they have to, maintain it.
Right.
And since I drive a low riding car, and Crum, you've seen my car on my Twitter profile.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to take this car and I'm going to drive off of a 2-foot embankment. Sure. And it's unfortunate because the house would have been perfect. It was on an acre of land.
You just have to Dukes of Hazzard that shit.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, man, where's fucking Uncle Jesse at? Where's Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane? But that house would have been ideal if I could have gotten to the sumbitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I called the realtor, and I'm like, you expect me to drive over this? Are you crazy? I said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pass. I got to go. Bye.
Good grief.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a perfect comedy of errors. And then another house that I went and looked at looked okay in the pictures. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, oh, fuck, hell no. The kitchen looked like something out of fucking Leave It to Beaver.
I'm going to show you a mean kitty, Tom.
Kitty cam.
Oh, really? Really?
Tom is communicating with the cat.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
But anyway, yeah, I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, and I had gone with a friend of mine, and I was like, okay, where's fucking June Cleaver at? Where's fucking Uncle Charlie coming out chasing after Ernie for stealing cookies out of the jar?
Right. Oh my goodness.
But it's just been a comedy of errors, unfortunately. And the other bad thing too is that I know this is going to sound really weird to the chat and to you guys, but I've never had a credit card in 50 years. So I have zero credit.
I'm 20 away, so I'll be along with you in 20 years. I've never owned a credit card.
Yeah, and the thing is that these financial people, they're like, well, if you don't have credit and you don't have sufficient income, then we're not going to do anything. And I get what they're saying because they don't want squatters. I get what they're saying.
Let me sell you debt at a 10% interest.
Yeah. Or 22 or what was it? So one time when I looked at because I worked in retail in my 20s, and I happened to read through one of the credit card applications, and they were wanting 27% APR. Yeah. And I was like, what are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
This was at a
and they're asking you to sell that to people.
And then if you don't use your card every 6 months, then we're still going to charge you. Nope.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or that interest is retroactive. They get you. They say, you pay it off in 6 months with no interest. Well, God help you if you don't. Mm-hmm. And I had a friend of mine that got suckered into that very ploy. And, didn't get I think he bought his daughter a Game Boy or something. I forget what it was exactly. But anyway, he didn't finish it, and they penalized his ass 27% for each month.
Yep.
And it was like, you pay the damn thing off 4 times.
Exactly.
You don't get it. And I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? So, I mean, my father grew up in the Great Depression. He was 95 when he passed. God bless him. And he always made it a point live within your means. Live within your
Yes.
means. Live within your means. And that's what I try to do. I mean, I don't go out and buy expensive, baubles. I'm not very materialistic. I had a bunch of action figures when I was a kid and even in my late 30s, but I had to get rid of all that crap because it was taking up so much room.
Yeah, it does. It takes up so
Action
much
toys
space.
ain't gonna like that. Nope.
Well, if Action Toys is interested, I have a few vintage. I have one of the vintage board games that I have is from Star Wars, the Escape from Death Star game from '77, and I have 2 copies of it, and one of the copies still has unpunched pieces.
Oh, damn.
So I was like, I'm not really much of a board game person, but I'm going to hang on to this thing.
No kidding.
How many times do you see a piece like that isn't ragged out and has unpunched
Very
pieces?
often.
So
That's badass.
yeah, and
Holy crap.
like I touched on Monopoly, I have. We talked last night about it on the show, and I bought 2 copies of the It Monopoly that came out.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen that or not, but GameStop actually had an exclusive where they had Beverly's Key as one of the tokens.
Oh, wow.
And I just happened to be in a GameStop and they had 1 copy of it, and I was like, "Oh, goddamn! I think I'll take this because I love that movie, the first part of it."
Yeah.
And then a year after that, they came out. I guess they must have found some stock in a warehouse, and they put it up at a stupidly cheap price. And I was like, "Oh shit, hell yeah! I'll take an extra copy to keep sealed. Why not?"
No kidding.
And then the only other game that I found of note for it was Crumb. I don't know, or any of the chat may know about this, but there was one other that was called It Evil Below.
I
And
haven't heard of that one.
yeah,
I haven't heard of
and
it.
it's on Amazon trading for, I think some people in the marketplace are trying to get like close to $100 for a copy of it.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, excuse me, I didn't mean to cough there. My former years of smoking cloves and camels are coming back to haunt me, I think. But anyway,
It's the coof.
yeah, it's the coof. Thanks.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, right. Thanks. But funny thing is that I happened to be wandering around in a Barnes and Noble. I'd heard about this game, but had never seen it, and I was like, God, I'm not paying $100 for a board game like this.
Right.
And lo and behold, they had 2 copies
Oh, wow.
for $18 each. I was
That's
like,
impressive.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
No kidding.
Yeah. So,
I'll eventually have to get around to doing the Heinz ketchup puzzle that I have. It's literally just a red puzzle.
oh God.
They made like an exclusive like Heinz 57 puzzle. I don't remember how many they made, but I think they made like 57,000 of them or something like that.
Something,
So I
yeah.
ended up buying one. It's pretty funny. It's just a red puzzle.
Just a red puzzle. It'll look like Beverly's bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll continue around the horn here. Nern, final thoughts and resolutions.
All right, so as I mentioned earlier, my resolution, I've been actually very fortunate over the last year. So my resolution is to try to reach out more and help other people this year. So if people can remember, last year was over, there's a new year. It might have been really bad, but you can only go up. So you don't have to get everything fixed at once. Just try to make today better than yesterday. Take care of yourself, and once you get your own feet, then you can go ahead and you can start helping other people. So if you don't want to take care of yourself, because for you, take care of yourself so you can help somebody else.
It's a very, very good point.
Yep.
Very, very good point. Adifos.
Well, mine's really simple. Just keep on trucking.
Hey, that's my line.
Yeah, exactly. I stole it.
Hey, damn it. Is that
just
right?
stay more dedicated on things. Like, for a while there, I stopped doing my YouTube channel and just got focused on other things and forgot what made me happy really. And just stay in touch with people. Don't lose focus and don't leave people on the wayside or the back burner. Just kind of stay in contact with people and enjoy life. Really, that's been my New Year's resolution always. Just enjoy life. Don't run to the finish. We're all going to get there someday anyways. It's better just to take it slow and walk and enjoy the roses and the scenery, because if you rush, you're going to miss all that.
Absolutely. And since you stole my line.
Oh, you have angered the beast.
Angered the beast. Well,
Hey,
I wanted to.
I'm really going to have nightmares now. I really am.
Crime, I have a proposition for you.
I'm going to just sit there and hold my kitty like, no.
I have a proposition.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yes. Let's do a Q&A where Tom P. actually takes off the mask and tells everybody what he used to do.
Perfect. We'll set up a stream to do it.
Sounds good. Because I have some stories I can tell you. Oh boy, do I have some stories.
unmasking the scary kitty.
Yeah. At long last. And I got 3 new videos.
You have cat ears.
I got 3 new videos that I shot the other night too that I'm going to put up for you to watch.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you guys here. Adafos, Tom, Naren, you guys are amazing. And Spirit Jr. for joining us as well, and a Manatee. As for myself, pretty much I'm going to be taking care of my health this year. I'm going to be taking care of everything I've been kind of neglecting for the past few years. Just kind of reevaluating everything that I want to go forward with and refocusing on things that need to be refocused and all that good stuff. So yeah, definitely more positivity, more looking at how I can help the community, both locally and on my online stuff as well. So stay tuned for all the good stuff that's going to be coming, all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll be back at it probably next week, next Saturday, not tomorrow, but the following week.
I was going to say 3 days in a row. I don't know.
3 days in a row. I'm not
Let's
Superman.
do it.
It's Super Crumb.
Do it.
But you guys have been amazing. The support has been awesome. Let's make it a better 2021. I don't think it's a very hard bar, a very very high bar to pass, but from 2020. But hey, we'll try it, right?
And I'm going to find.
All kidding aside, guys, I sincerely hope that this is not the new norm.
It's gonna be like this for another year. I think we're gonna probably be till September till we start to see the light at the end of the tunnel by September. But 2021's not gonna be. It'll be better than 2020 because we won't have stuff taken away from us. We can only have stuff given back. So
yeah.
But thank you guys all for joining. This has been another wonderful Canuckleheads episode. Till next time.
Have a good night, guys.
Stick on the ice.
Peace, guys.
Bye bye.